Hello, welcome back to a new reading vlog. I really need to do this quick little impromptu readathon for myself because I am quite behind on my Goodreads reading goal and I have consistently been at least 7 books behind. The other day I was like 8, but I read 2 manga books and now I think I should be 6 books behind. It's back to 7, yay me. So I'm doing an impromptu, what I think will be 36 hours. I might possibly stretch it out to 48, but I definitely want to be sleeping. Currently, I'm reading a YA book. It is pretty sad. It's a contemporary by Deaver following a young boy in high school after the sudden death of his brother. So it's called The Ghosts We Keep. I fully expect to be crying. I'm definitely sad. I would say I'm about 50% of the way through. I read a decent chunk on the train. I also want to get changed really quickly to go to the park to get a tannin, and I also have a audiobook for that. I think it's called Cafe con Lychee. I'll also do at the library soon, hopefully not too soon. It's a cute little gay romance. It's by Emery Lee. And then I think I also would like absolutely to get through more of Slam Dunk. I'm doing my reread this year. I read this series 2 years ago. It's one of my boyfriend's favorites. I really enjoyed it, so I'm doing my reread. My mom also has actually done her reread as well. I have some other cute little quick romances that would work as well. I really would like to spend time with them. I've got Shipped by Angie Hockman, and the other day I went out to pick up Tessa's Twice Tempted by a Rogue. She is one of my favorite historical romance authors. And then I also have Ashley Winstead's newest release this year, which is The Boyfriend Candidate. I think it's supposed to be the second book after Fool Me Once following her sister, which I didn't know. I just really like Ashley Winstead overall. It's now 11 and I just finished my first book, my audiobook of Cafe con Lychee. As you saw, that I gave it 2 stars. I feel like while I was out in the park, I kind of was just blanking out and wasn't really connecting. I thought it was like a cute story, but it wasn't really doing much for me except want a lot of boba. I think now I'm gonna like wash my face and finish The Ghosts We Keep if I can. I'm about 50% of the way through and it's pretty easy to read, so hopefully I can finish that before I sleep. So I just finished The Ghosts We Keep by Deaver and I think I'm giving this 4 stars, 4.25. I really did enjoy this book. The author, I found out later while reading the author's note, also was taking from their own experiences of losing their father very suddenly as well. When they sat down to write this story, they found it really difficult until they actually changed the death of a father to the death of a brother, because writing felt really therapeutic and is very cathartic for them, but it just felt a little bit too close to home. However, they did say that some of the thoughts and arguments and the feelings were definitely rooted in truth in their own experience. The arguments that Ethan was having with his family and his friends, I definitely could relate a lot to. They were definitely emotions that I was having when I lost my father, and I found it really difficult to like connect to my family, and I was really withdrawing from everyone except for my boyfriend. I'm sure with Liam only being 16 and in high school, that made it a lot more difficult because you're dealing with a lot more like emotions and hormones that you're already navigating through, and it's already a really complicated situation. I really did enjoy this. I didn't cry. There were moments when I thought maybe I could but didn't. I finally finished another one and I'm now only 5 books behind. Good morning. I am getting ready still. My plan for today is to go book shopping. I want to go to Barnes & Noble because a family friends, when they came to visit us in New York, gave me a gift certificate, so I want to go use that and especially buy Riley Sager's new release, which is like my only anticipated read of the year. I need to read that for also 2 of the book clubs that I'm a part of, so very much looking forward to that. I also, as you saw, I'm still reading Slam Dunk number 8. I still have a tiny bit left to read. it. Since it was past midnight, I am counting it as the new day's book. Because I finished my audiobook yesterday, I'm like wondering if I should pick up a new one because I want to walk to Barnes & Noble's, and that's going to be at least like a 40-minute walk. And then I want to tan in the park after, so I'll have time. I don't know what I should pick up. So far, I'm feeling really good, especially having finished 2 books already. I'm letting my sunscreen sit, but I also just finished the last couple pages of Slam Dunk. The first time was a 5-star, second time is going to be a 5-star. Things are really starting to move along. They are now competing with the best 7 within like their prefecture, and they're moving forward. This game is not yet over, but the team that they're competing against was the number 2 team last year, so stakes are high. They have a lot to prove. I did pick an audiobook. I really dug through for one, but I didn't have one that I wanted to read, so I chose a Tessa novella. It's a short novella, so it's 3 hours, so it should be easy to get through. I'm gonna change into my bathing suit and head out.
Really? Was it my tigress growl or my late blooming bosoms?
Hello. I came home. I decided to not walk because my books were giving me a blister, and I finished listening to the audiobook that I was listening to. So I was listening to the Tessa Dare book. I think it's a novella though, so I don't think I'm gonna read it. It was called The Scandalous, Dissoulute, No Good Mr. Wright. No thoughts, like literally nothing. I didn't know what was going on, didn't feel any connection. I think I'm just not really in the right headspace for audiobooks at the moment. Now that I finished that, I have a new novel to start, but I think I might go in with Shipped. I didn't get to tan today because it's actually a lot more cloudy than I thought. I'm now freshly showered, I exfoliated, I feel so much better, and I'm home alone so I can just sit and read. Super quick shout out though, I've been really getting into ATEEZ recently. I knew some of their songs, but I'm starting to get into them like as a group and as people, which Koda is really excited about as always because I'm getting into a new K-pop group, but he also is looking forward to it because he knows a lot of groups. He's been following K-pop for a long time, and he knows a lot of groups, he knows a lot of music, but he never like gets to know a group until I start to get into them. So like we watch their variety shows, we watch a lot of interviews, so that's been really fun. I know all their names and have songs that I like, but I still need to be able to identify whose voice is whose. I'm at that stage right now. But I thought before I read, I could do a book haul because I did buy 3 books and I have some money left on my gift certificate still, which is really awesome. The first book that I picked out was We Spread by Ian Reid. This is a genre-bending book, I think about like losing your memory. I just saw that Gabby Reeds had read it, really loved it. I've had it on like my list. When I went to Barnes & Noble, I totally blanked on everything that I wanted or I couldn't find it. One of the booksellers recommended to me this horror book because she really loves horror. It's Meddling Kids by Edgar Contero, and she described it as Scooby-Doo for adults. Immediately I was like, great, I'm sold, and it was like money on a gift certificate, so I was like, why not? And then lastly, of course, as you already know, I needed to pick out Riley Sager's The Only One Left. I had this one on hold for me as well. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I'm a little bit nervous. I have like 0 expectations for this one because lately, or his last few releases, I have not quite enjoyed. So hopefully I do, but this is definitely one that I would like to get around to this month. I might do it in like a new vlog though, just so I could focus on this and I don't have to like cram it into this one reading vlog. I'm almost coming up to the full 24 hours of having done this vlog, and I feel awesome because I've read 4 books. Yes, well, 3 books and a novella, or 2 books and a novella and a manga. I definitely do want to get into a new manga, which would be the 9th one, still following this specific game with this school shoujo. Also physically would be reading this one as well. And now I'm only 3 books behind. My bullet journal reading tracker goes up to 250 pages, and lately, because I've been reading the manga as well, it's been going over, and it's such a great feeling. I am really enjoying Shipped so far, actually. I'm imagining Graham to be Glenn Powell. I think that's his name. I always mix up him and Glenn Close, even though I definitely know what Glenn Close looks like, and I think that name does him a huge disservice because I'm imagining Glenn from Superstore, and that's not a snack. Anyway, this book is about Henley. She is the marketing manager at a cruise line company, and she is up for this huge promotion. In comes her rival, who works 100% remote, so they've never actually met in person. Graham, he's based out of Michigan. He's the social media manager, and they don't get along, or in her head she just finds him to be very infuriating. They're both up for the same promotion, and their boss sends them off to the cruise that goes down to the Galapagos Islands because they've both never been, to experience it and to also come up with a new marketing plan that will help boost sales. And so they're meeting for the first time. They've gone on the first hiking excursion. It's a good time. It's funny. I think it's supposed to be a hate to love because she really doesn't like Graham. Graham is pretty sweet so far. I get why she was annoyed at him. We'll see that how that transpires, because it's all mostly like in her head. There's no dual POVs, which I usually prefer. I'm a little bit nervous, but so far the writing style is great. I really do like Henley as well, which is helping, and Graham is sweet. It's nice that I'm able to envision both of them as well. And I think it's going to be a little bit silly. She's kind of the grump and he's also the sunshine sort of situation, so I'm having a good time with it so far. I'm about to start chapter 20 of Shipped, so I've read 204 pages already, and I'm really enjoying this. This book has been blurbed as being a combination of The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren and The Hating Game, which I did really love. Terrible movie though. Unhoneymooners I gave like 3 stars. Christina Lauren's a bit of a hit or miss for me, and I actually ended up unhauling it. I really enjoy this. I really like the hate to love trope, especially in this case because I'm really relating to Henley in terms of like why she doesn't like Graham. Similar to her, or I don't know in this situation, but I am pretty quick to decide whether or not I like or dislike somebody, and once you're on my dislike list, it's a little hard to get off of it. So I can imagine like her having so much fun with Graham, but then at the end of the day thinking that no, I really hate this guy, and she's trying to come up with all these excuses for like why she wants to continue to hate him after this one incident. I'm definitely like that too. I had to change out my battery pack. Seeing Graham win Henley over has been a lot of fun, and of course being now like 2/3 of the way through, things have been happening, they've been connecting a lot more. Everything's a little bit complicated too because they're out for the same role, and if they do decide to continue their relationship, that means one of them is going to be her superior, and Henley has a weird thing about that, especially in the workplace. She doesn't like her boss, and also being like a woman of higher power just isn't something that probably will go over well with her annoying rude boss. I know it'll probably be like this typical third act breakup, but I'm still really enjoying my time reading this. I finished Shipped by Angie Hockman, and I'm giving it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I definitely want to check out other books by Angie Hockman, and although this book is fiction, in her author's note, she talked about how Henley's initiative was inspired by her own trip to the Galapagos Islands and her work surrounding eco-tourism, and how we can just all be a lot friendlier to the earth, and she even encouraged her readers to donate money to our favorite charity or nonprofit, and linked 2 specific organizations that are doing vital work conserving the Galapagos Islands. We can all choose to shop at eco-friendly businesses and support local producers to recycle, take public transportation, and I really liked that message. I think that's really important to remember nowadays, especially now in the summer, now that we're having one of the hottest days on record, so that's terrifying. I have almost 4 hours left of this little mini readathon that I'm doing myself. I was gonna wait until later to read this one, but I think I might want to read this and then also the 10th one as well, because I'm now only 2 books behind, meaning if I read the 9th and 10th book, I will be all caught up. It's gonna be amazing. It'll also inspire me to read more after this vlog so that I can stay ahead, if not on schedule. Good morning. So I ended up staying up until 4 to read. Also mostly because I couldn't sleep. Well, I slept at like 3:50 right after I finished my last book. I ended up reading Slam Dunk 9, 10, and 11, all counting for the last couple hours because it was after midnight. So I was doing it from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. 36 hours. Well, I missed the last 10 because I slept. I'm so proud of me because I'm now 1 book ahead of schedule. That was the goal. That was like the best possible outcome that could happen because I wanted to be either on track or a book ahead, and I feel so good. So I'm gonna do a wrap up. When I started this vlog with this challenge for myself, this 36-hour reading challenge that I did for myself, I was reading The Ghost We Keep by Mason Deaver, which I gave 4.25 stars, and then I was also listening to the audiobook of Cafe con Lychee. I used to say lychee because that's how you say it in Japanese, but then when I got bubble tea or something, they were like lychee, and I felt really bad, and now I say lychee. Let me know which one you say because the audiobook narrator did say lychee. I gave that one 2 stars. I read Slam Dunk 8 to 11 for this readathon, so I gave them all 5 stars. And then I also listened to another audiobook, a novella, The Scandalous, Dissoulute, No Good, Mr. Wright by Tessa, and wasn't really feeling that. Novellas are also kind of hard to rate, so I didn't rate that one. The last full novel that I read was Shipped by Angie Hockman. Super duper enjoyed. Definitely will be looking at other books by this author. Gave this one 4.5 stars. Felt really good to have one this high because yes, I'm giving these ones 5 stars, but they're a reread, so it feels kind of like cheating, and I've had really bad luck with books lately, so I'm so glad to have had this one that's getting close to 5 stars, this as well as The Ghosts We Keep. I feel so accomplished. I feel so good. My bullet journal looking really good. It's like almost halfway through July and I've read 12 books already, so I'm feeling great. It might be time to film my mid-year check-in, even though it's kind of late. We'll see if I do that. Thank you all so much for watching and helping me catch up with my Goodreads reading goal. Hopefully it can remain that way. Please give it a big thumbs up and I'll see you next time. Bye!